will be just Monday.
Friday,
Okay.
October 4.
So, and you need a passport in order to exchange money. Did you check carefully
We are on
your
our way
rooms?
to Olympia.
You have traveling. You know, it's not the best thing. At the school on your left hand side. I will be telling you about Quite soon we will be stopping at the Corinthian Canal. I would like to explain you now about the Corinthian, talking about those they cannot cross. They are large enough, not high enough, that's not important.
The Corinthian Canal. The canal was constructed in late 19th century.
And the boat used to have to go all the way around. The peninsula. The boat? I didn't know. Also quite a distance. That's bigger than a boat. That's probably a 100 feet. Oh, is it? Oh, I see the bridges.
Beyond in condition, greatly ruined, and at the
We are visiting the ancient city of Epidurus.
So now for the museums, because the museum is entirely made of limestone, which is a local material that you can find in every hill, in every mountain. Only the first row of seats is made of marble, and that was for the VIPs. The VIPs were the kings and the queens of every city-state, because Greece was one country in the past, but it was actually divided in city-states. Every city-state was independent, autonomous, self-sufficient, in other words. This is why we have all those inner battles, Athens and Sparta, Corinth and Sparta, Euboea, actually before Christ. Only the lower part, you can tell that it's divided in the lower part and the upper part. So at the beginning, when this theater was built, only the lower part existed. So at the beginning, the capacity was 6.5. We have another volunteer. Guys, it's 12:30. 12:30. 5 minutes before 1. Please, everybody, back to the bus, and we will be going for lunch, which is going to take us about 45 minutes to get there. So about 1:45 lunch for us. Enjoy it. I'm right here if you have any questions. Otherwise, I'll be
Greek theater. Even the people at the top could hear the actors at the center of the stage.
I can use the exercise. Yeah.
Only the bottom row was marble for nobles. This is the circular stage. This is the marble bench for the nobility with a Greek theater.
One side, top.
Other proper land, because we have to do everything
Every day.
Spain. That's why it's incredibly important for us that we kept. The Turks used that fortress on your left as a. I couldn't believe that in a place that so many people lost their lives because they were beheaded. Later, in the 80s and the 90s, it became a romantic restaurant with actually many proposals there. Imagine people coming here.
The place where the people were executed in the 1920s with the aid of troops, Greece got rid of the communists. Fortress of Palamisi. Originally first for about 200 years, but they were not enslaved. But later on the French, the Venetians were here, they didn't enslave the Greeks, but they occupied it for about 200 years. Later on the Franco-German people came. They used to use this fort. The army used to use this. Lemon trees.
I expect that things would be really big there, but my room, the hotel, is very small here, Times Square.
Oh yes.
My God. Yeah, tiny.
Prehistoric ruins at Mancini. The prehistoric time starts 6000 BC and it ends with Homer's time, that is 800 BC.
I can't. This location as well. From this area, once upon a time, the Greeks left and they went to Troy. Troy is located in Asia Minor. Back then it was called Asia Minor. Nowadays, Troy is in Turkey, since Turkey occupies the geographical area of Asia Minor. Agamemnon was married to Clytemnestra. Clytemnestra had a sister, Helen, the most beautiful woman in the world. And Helen was married to the brother of Agamemnon, who was, his younger brother, was the king of Sparta. Paris, the young prince of Troy, was visiting. He decided to spend time in Sparta.
Lions Gate, Mycenae.
Jimmy, this after the circle. Bingo. The circuit, the circuit.
the fires of Agamemnon. First of all, let me tell you about the walls. The walls are the so-called places they held the Greeks. Of course, this is part of mythology, like the Trojan War is part of mythology. Look the style, big stones, and in the gaps, they have placed a small, irregular 1,300 years before Christ. That one that looks like a pyramid, and of course we believe that the shape, the triangle, is taken
Oldest
by
monument
the
in
Eastern
Europe.
culture. They were
Holes where the old door existed. The guard's room.
they did have varied. They did Oracle in Delphi. I will tell you so many stories, but I don't have not even one piece of proof just to tell you that the oracle actually existed. I have many stories, but none proof. I can go through, he said. So we are lucky that in this place, jewelry, pieces of jewelry,
Grave
earrings,
circle
rings,
A.
necklaces, bracelets, lovely pieces.
8
Maybe you
women
already
and
know the
children were
lamb,
found.
the symbol of eternal love. Greek
Royal
tea,
family.
that's the name. Tomorrow I can show it to you. From this point and on,
This was the German architect who dug this area, gave the name
people who are up there, there is a
Agamemnon's
platform there,
mask
probably the ground floor
to
of the
attract
actual fire.
people
The
and
whole
finance
place is
the
a
project.
kingdom, but lava covered everything. Probably people knew about that eruption because we didn't find any skeletons, we didn't find any people. And okay, you might tell me that the half of covered with
The
beautiful
king's
volcanoes.
palace.
And we think that when, because it is kept in the National Archaeological Museum in Crete, and they came here, so they brought the culture of. Okay, let's try. Can you hear me? 1, 2, test. Can you hear me down there? Okay. That will be the last place, and then you can go up if you want. It's not difficult at all. I was telling you that I hadn't finished the story of the Trojan War. How did the Trojan War end up? Yes, the Trojans, they brought the horse inside their gate. And in the tummy of the horse, the best of the warriors were hidden inside. Greek warriors were hidden in the tummy of the horse. So when they realized that all the Trojans were asleep, they came out and they practically killed everybody. Asked his wife, Clytemnestra, to sacrifice their youngest baby, Phigenia. She never forgave him. During his absence for 10 years, she found a lover, Aegisthus, and they both planned his murder. Those nights, so that they were much closer to this place.
The 7th century BC would be 600 to 700 BC, right?
So my, you see these little plants? Oh, that's nice too.
Atreus was the father of Agamemnon.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, let's start. We are standing outside
Mycenae
the
Part
treasury
2,
of Atreus.
burial
This
place of
place,
Agamemnon's father.
To Grave Circle AG is called a beehive tomb. Has been found inside, besides the architectural style that we are. They had the time to do that. This is why we think that somebody great must have been buried here, on something extremely important must have been kept in this area. There was a thick wooden door. We say wood 150 before Christ. That's the time of this place approximately. Single piece of stone, huge, above the door. This is what impresses us the most. We are starting to think, how did they bring that up here?
No, you're putting it before it.
many states, right? Yeah, that was my first. I won't want English, but I told you about those expressions, how difficult it was for me. So I had a group from Texas. That was my first group. I wanted, before we get to the hotel, that guys, you shouldn't be drinking water because it's not your refrigerator. I made the mistake to translate exactly very much for a lovely day. Just make sure to remember not to drink water from the toilet. Nervous anymore. I feel very confident in my job, but other, and I couldn't understand. I was like, "Why are you laughing, guys?" And they were like, "Vivian, here in Greece, do you drink water from the toilet?" It was happening for 10 minutes. For 10 minutes, I couldn't figure it out. And then somebody told me, "Vivian, I think you mean that we shouldn't be going to the bathroom, drink." Crazy. Athens. Tomorrow I'm planning to tell you more things, of course, about modern life. It's very touristic. It was it's a pretty village with a wonderful view, but the village itself, it has lost its authentic character. To be around
The view of the swimming pool. Today is Saturday, October the 5th. This is the view from the hotel. We are on our way to Olympia.
The only way to know where we are.
place, a different place from the Acropolis, definitely, and very different from the prehistorical site of Mycenae that we've seen yesterday. Olympia was called Olympia always. Here, in the western Peloponnese, Olympus. There's another country.
We are at the archaeological site of Olympia.
More difficult for them to arrive in a place that would be constantly in a battle. And there were battle organizing the games. The first recorded game, we are for Christ. The local authorities imposed a law. The cities that they want to send their athletes to compete concerning this area.
Training ground for Olympics.
Let me tell you that this place was constructed
Built
for
in
the needs of the
330
athletes.
BC.
Those columns, they used to train themselves in
Also rooms for guests to stay.
javelin elves here. The athletes, they used to arrive in this area
Javelin,
3
discus,
months before the Olympic Games.
training
Usually the games
grounds.
would take place in August. It was very hot.
So you want to... So warm.
The lyre, these were the two most popular musical instruments. These were the ones who would announce the beginning of the Olympic Games, and they would send messengers. Messengers were older men who probably in the past were to learn how to compete in the future. Καλημέρα.
This is where,
Πού θα πάτε?
where the
Ωραία.
people
Θα
competed
περάσετε από εδώ.
in boxing, wrestling, long jump, etc.
Okay. Let's go this way and we will stop at the So the athletes would rest. Between the games, although it was very hot, but noon here, 12 o'clock here, it's very hot for the athletes. We cannot stand it. So they had to have something to get them. In order to jump as long as possible, so we don't believe that they would jump those 7 meters that they jump nowadays. Things must have been very different back then. Probably you have heard all those laughs because that's our next thing. I'm sure you know that the athletes they used to compete. It goes like that. It's a Greek word, the word gymnastic. To have full control of the body of the athlete.
Gymnastics means competing naked.
Cheating. By the father of Alexander the Great, Philip. You are going to come back that way anyway, because that is the path. So you will have plenty of time to follow in that moment. I would like to speak of the opening ceremony. We did not have any bricks in the BC period. It is actually an early basilica church.
Really?
In 5th century after Christ.
Old Basilica Church.
They wanted to vanish paganism or some bronze details in that stuff.
The Romans occupied in the 2nd century AD, and they built a motel here. They invited their emperors and noblemen to attend the Olympic Games, and this motel is where the Roman nobility stayed during the Olympic Games. This is where the ivory statue of in the Temple of Zeus. The statue of Zeus was one of the 7 wonders of the old
in
world.
the past, and I don't know if you know.
The son of seashells
In that.
in the column. Prehistoric building.
What time is the barbecue?
The barbecue was much lower than the one we now, and we put the altar right in front of the Temple of Hera, and we discussed about the Temple of Hera, the oldest temple in Olympia. So right here, this is where they used to do it, and this is where they used to do it nowadays as well, because there is always
This is where the Olympic flame was left lit.
Since Olympia is separate part as they organize for the a part of their opening ceremony, something that they wouldn't pay that much attention. In 1936 for the very first time, in Berlin, this was organized as the people of ancient Greeks. They had a separate celebration, a different ceremony, just for that. No, for us, for the ancient Greeks, we know that they used to do something like that. That they carry the flame lit up inside an airplane. They don't allow us to have a lighter, not the whole flame inside. So that is the truth.
Virgin girls probably
Now,
who lit
what
the
about those
Olympic
places,
flame.
guys? What they
Roman
completed
bathtub.
that when they were here, but it was never on use actually. Because the Romans tried, I told you. The emperor Theodosius, the ones who closed the Platonic Academy as well. Finally, in 1896 AD, not anymore in Olympia, since this place was destroyed, but in Athens, that was the capital of Greece. 1896. In 18,
It was revised in
the
1896.
games were about treasury.
True.
No money, nothing, just the award, but the glory was great. Definitely no, was the most valuable thing. They had to have a judge from every city state, the altar of the Mitra. The altar on the left, the judges on the...
Starting line of the Olympic Games. On your mark, get set, ready, go. Go. I won. Okay, this is the starting line of the Olympic Stadium. Circular building where the statues of Philip, the father of Alexander the Great, his wife and family. There were statues for them in this building. Ionic temple.
Please speak Gujarati. Yang.
New excavation inside. They have not found anything yet.
Because for many centuries there was only the stadium that we've been. This place is the gymnasium. There were some excavations going on in this area right here. I told you that in here they used to train themselves in foot race, throwing of discus and javelin. And that was called gymnasium. That one was called palestra. It comes out of the Greek verb palego, which means to wrestle. This is the place where they learn how to take care of their body as well.
И фотографировать, конечно.
The young boy and the king. Secretly at night, Pelops, this man right here, this is him. He is bribing one of the slaves of the palace. That's him, who is And secretly at night, he's telling him, the king is very capable in chariot races. But Pelops, this young man, he thought of everything. The sun comes out as they compete, the wax melts, the wagon falls apart, the king died. And this is how he was able to get married to the princess, and this is how he got the throne. By Clytemnestra, the moment he entered his kingdom, the whole family of Atreides was cursed. Why? Because of what Pelops did. Pelops tricked the king. He took the throne with a devious way. Sons with his. He murdered his nephews. He made a stew with his nephews, and he gave that stew to his brother to eat it. His children, Atreus became the king. He became a king again with a devious way. And of course, Agamemnon had to pay back for what his Nike stands for the Greek word victory. At the Acropolis, there was a temple dedicated to Athena Nike, right? You've seen that temple. It was the constructed a statue of the victory, a statue of a Nike. I know that because there is an inscription. So I have the name line. She is ready to land. Actually, she just step foot on the ground, and it looks like the wind blows, and the cloth has become one with her body. Zeus. So he took him to Mountain Olympus. Look the innocent look of Ganymedes comparing to the smart amazing piece of art. Very few people know and understand the importance of this because we don't have it anywhere else. A clay complex. When you are ready with
Zeus is depicts homosexuality.
Messenger of the gods, Hermes is his name, Hermes, and the Latin name is Mercury. Okay. Turning him down to earth to take this baby with him because Zeus heard that this baby is going to steal his glory. When he grows up, he will be the protector of wine, Dionysus. Dionysus is the Greek name, Bacchus is the Latin name. So Zeus wants to make sure that nobody is going to steal his glory. Even I'm waiting for you in the previous room that we couldn't come because I wanted to have our privacy for the highlight of Michelangelo. That gave the inspiration for David. Whatever we have in this room is of the workshop of Phidias. You can see how it was gold as a liquid. On top of those clay molds, there is a mirror. No? Of course not. He was the head of Phidias. In Greek, the verb imam, that the line of the Romans have you seen the movie My Big Fat Greek Wedding? And everything comes from Greek. His daughter that even the word kimono has a Chinese word.
The Roman room. When the Romans wanted to erect a statue for a new emperor, they simply removed the head from an older statue of an emperor and built a new head. This is a statue of Adrian on the right.
150,000 people very soon. On our ferries, they depart from the port of Patra for the Italian ports such as 2004, and the first people who actually run the bridge. That bridge connects Peloponnese with central Greece. Now on the side have to pay the tolls. For a car it's usually 12 euros, for a bus it's usually 67. It's a very modern style bridge, a French company under